Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Jan and you are watching Jan FX, and today I'm going to make a technical analysis for major pairs again for a new trading week which will start on 10th of July 2016. And first we're going to look what happened the previous week, and as usual a warning that Forex is a risky business. You may make money, you can also lose even more than you invested. So before you decide to trade Forex, you need to have a professional advice. And everything I show and tell you in my videos, it's all just my opinion, and I don't give you any warranties or guarantees, and I'm not responsible for any profits or losses you might make if you will follow my videos. So it's only for informational purposes and only based on my own opinion. If you disagree with all of this, please change the channel. If you agree, let's continue. So previous week again we start with euro dollar. Well, let's just start as usual. If you watch my previous videos, how we start trading week is we have to check calendar, economical calendar for pairs which you will be trading. You know that my favorite pair is euro dollar, so I'm mostly concentrate on that pair. And let's just we'll do it as usually we do. So a new week again, I'm using site dailyfx.com, and where you can actually choose a time zone. You know that I'm trading with broker Talinex, and they use and they chart time GMT UTC, which is 0, and I picked this time, and you can see what the news are going to be this new week. So as I'm saying, depends which pair you choose. You really need to look for the news on those pairs and pay attention or mark them in your diaries. You would know that usually it could be movements, of course. So as you can see, we have what Monday again. So I will be as usual concentrating more on, of course, dollar and euro. And so we have, like, seems like could be quite quiet Monday. Have some American news, but they're very low, like some medium, very low. We have what on Tuesday, July the 12th, we have again some news for euro, dollar, which are not major. Wednesday, the same. We have some important news. You can see, well, it's import price index high. Could be some movements. If you'll be trading Canadian dollar, you can see there is a rate decision, except it says it might not change. But you need to also read some different in some different informational sites to see what is going on and what the market is concentrating on, of course. So we're just looking right now what we have, and again, so what we have on Wednesday, we have some news for US, you have Canadian. And if you do trade Japan, you have something for Japan, which are not major, but still some. Thursday, July the 14th, you can see you have some Australian also dollar news. Can pay attention. Okay, we have pound. Will be Bank of England rate decision, which you can see there is nothing there predicted, so it's unknown if it will be changed or not. And again, we have some again American, some medium important news and some low news. And Friday also we have some news for euro, we have some also important news for US dollar. So again, you can see quite a lot of news on Friday. And so that's all. We also have Michigan confidence on Friday. So this is all about our week, and you can mark the important times on your charts, I guess. And so you know, we will usually use these news events if you know market is around the levels, so it could be breaking or it might be a stopping point and something else, you never know. So just you know that during the news events the markets usually do have movements. So previous week we had a non-farm payroll, and I didn't trade that news because I didn't feel comfortable, and I'm going to tell you why. And you know, again guys, I'm warning that it's July, and as you know from my previous videos also, I made a video this July and August are not my favorite months of trading. I'm quite careful, and usually I don't take risks, or if I do, it just make very small trades, just few trades I could make, but usually I try just to avoid because it's very unpredictable. And again, right now with UK Brexit is still kind of uncertainty in, of course, European market and English market. So for euro and for pound, it's still kind of uncertainty. So I didn't trade these pairs this week, the previous week, but I did trade the other ones, which I actually told you in the video that I probably would not trade euro pound anyway, would look for some other pairs. So you can see on my screen again, it's euro dollar. We start with that, and that's so you can see what we had Brexit reaction, and that was our. Let's just go to 1 hour because 4 hours give a good picture, but I'll show you on 1 hour chart because you can see a week. So we had a week video. Previous video was for that week, and this is the last week. So remember when the market was closed, I was telling you, as you remember, that the market for euro dollar, I was thinking it will probably move around these levels, and it might continue the previous drop. So we had a drop here, but because there was reaction on the Brexit, so we could have thinking that it might continue, or maybe it will recover, because it did have a bit of recovery, as you can see, correction, and it did create. I draw these little thin red lines to saying that it does look like you know, like a pattern flag, or as I like more to say that it's a trend, a little uptrend inside a bigger trend. It's like the dark blue lines are, it's a bigger trend. And so that's why I was telling you that if the market will continue, so we needed to see what's going to happen on Monday. So it will continue inside this level, so probably it will be breaking. So if it would have break that level, that we will have, this is another important level, and of course if it will break this level, that the prediction would be that the market would continue going down and continue the downtrend. But you can see that actually all week euro was trying not to drop more, so it looks like it's just trying to resist, doesn't wanna continue dropping, and it's actually you can see around the price level, which was also quite important, is 111, and it actually stays around this level. So it did come out eventually from it's broke that and come out from this little uptrend channel, and now we can see it's balanced all around that. And why I decided not to trade on non-farm, as you can see, it's not very it was very uncertain what can happen, because as I'm saying, with all of this situation, what's happened with Brexit, and you know that I usually like to trade news when market is getting a bit quieter before the news event. That makes it, for me, indication that it would be a good, better movement, and I usually look for a nice channel. But as you can see, again, I'm showing you in the 30 minutes. I mean, if you will go in 15 minutes, you'll see it's the same. It's messy, and that was the event on Friday, and you can see before it, the market moved down, up and down, a little bit up. So it was kind of balancing, all still around that level. So to me, it was, I just didn't want to risk, so I didn't take risk. And you can see that's I don't like when the news event looks like this. You can see it was a drop, then it went up, then it come back, and now it sits in uncertainty again. So it's come back into a uncertain area. So it's that's what I call it messy, and market doesn't know where to go next. And so I just wanted to see how it actually reacts on the news. So now I can see that even with non-farm, for US dollar, it didn't move it much to any direction. You can see it moved down, moved up, and just stayed again on, went nowhere. So that's why, that's what I'm saying. This is the risks of trading in. I mean, you probably could make here. Depends what the what was happening there. I mean, if it was a maybe slippage, or it could have been a bigger, wider spread. I don't know, because I didn't trade, so I can't say. But I don't, you see, I don't like it. Usually, you know, in the news, it moves like one direction and will continue going for a while before it will start to recover, or at least it would pick any direction. But now you see it didn't pick any directions again. So let's try to see now and think what it can do. As you can see on this is the daily chart. So the main picture is still, that's our main trend channels from the daily and previous weeks, and you can see that market is actually stays below that level of the uptrend, so it still sits inside the downtrend channel. So that's what we can see, and so possibly the movement down, then creating this little uptrend channel, so like a little flag, let's say, it might still continue going down. So it didn't come back. So what I would think this week, what can happen, as you can see, I have some different news, but nothing like big like non-farm, but even non-farm didn't move it much. So I don't know what can move, what's going to do, any announcements or maybe, or any other meetings, need just to see if there anything will be during the week. So the point is that euro could try to come back inside that channel again. You see that price 111, so it might try to come back again, and might even try to go inside that channel. But you can see it has all of these important levels to break. The first one is that level, then that level, and then we have still downtrend. So it could try to do this, but if it will not be able to break that level, I would think it probably will just continue go down. And we have another level here, which is, as you remember, you can also maybe a little bit correct, because I draw it right into the bottom of here and the bottom of here, because it was a Brexit. You remember that maybe you will have to adjust it a little bit, and just see, maybe you see, you can do this. If you will be in trading here somewhere, so that you can have a look, that's what I would do. I would look and see that the first, it might be, you see, it's about 100 pips to this. Because, as I'm saying, we need more touch. The more level touches the candles, the more stronger the level, and that's why it might stop earlier, a little bit higher. But I will leave it up to the bottom of that candle. But remember, just about this, just I'm reminding. And I also leave this one here, because I'm saying to you, it's always plus minus. You can adjust a little bit. It depends just how the market moves. And remember, if there are news, and you would know that it might continue moving, and it might stop, it might go, but that's why it's not like 100% like accuracy. You can put it like this. No, you might need to adjust during the trading. So now I'm going to remove these levels, because we already don't need them, because the market is already below. So it's below this level. So we do know that right now it's in downtrend, and possibly it will continue. So continue going down. That's what it looks at this moment. So what's going to happen and what's going to move it, quite also hard to say. So at this moment, I'm saying I probably ain't going to trade. I wouldn't touch euro dollar again, because you can see at this moment there is nothing really, no patterns created, no channels. There is nothing at this point. I don't see anything. So if we'll have a little bit closer look. Because you can see this, we have like these wings of candles, and again, it just stands on nowhere. I would say I can try to, for example, to draw around. I'm not going to draw it like around something like this, but I wouldn't go for anything like that, because it's just nothing is clear. I would say for me, there's nothing really to see here. Obvious. So as I'm saying, just need to look again if there will be any patterns or channels or anything else. So that's where euro, for me, that's what it looks like. It's not nothing I can think of. I'll just go back to dollar. So as I'm saying, if I would have been in a trade, I would just probably try to keep it running and to see if it will try to break this, or it will not break it. So continue to go down. Of course, it's might not just drop. It might just do some movements around, or maybe it will sit around this level. So as I'm saying, because need to really to wait and see if there will be any announcements or anything. Like, for example, even like the Bank of England, there will be something is going to happen there, and there will be some announcements and rate decisions. So maybe that would do something, or so need to see if anything will be for euro, maybe any announcements or anything. So at this moment, this is what it looks like. So balancing around just the price 111. So that's how I would leave it for now. I mean, again, I'm saying it will open on Monday, to see maybe it will create something else on Monday, except well, at this moment I can't see, so I wouldn't touch euro dollar anyway. For me, I wouldn't. But I mean, it might be continuing a good about 180 pips, maybe a little bit higher, 100 pips or something. But I mean, it's created like something around this area, but as I'm saying, it's just a bit too risky for me. I wouldn't touch anything on euro dollar. So at that point, at this moment, it's not looking promising for me anyway. So this is my opinion about euro dollar. Let's go for pound dollar, which is also the same. I didn't touch it this week, and just wanted to see what's reacting, what is happening. So it's actually from the previous week. Remember that I had a little bit of that level around here, which on Monday you can see it actually did break it. It did went a little bit up, and then it dropped, and actually it broke that level. Just as I was telling you that this is a possibility it will break, but where it will go down, it's uncertainty, because we don't have historical data to see and to predict anything. Where it can go now, nobody knows. As you can see that I draw these light blue lines. That's the only at this moment what we can try to look at, but it's very low. I mean, it's about like what 80, not 85 something. It's very low. The price is about 0.85. Will it go that low? It's possible. Anything is possible, and it's all, again, as I'm saying, depends on what's going to happen. Again, Bank of England news. I think something is going to happen. I mean, they don't predict that interest rate might change this time, but it might be something. Will be also announcements or changing in August. So you see, again, it's uncertainty. That's why I would just probably leave it as it is, and I will not touch pound, but it's all up to you. So what we can see on that one, so you see, we don't need that level. I'll just go a little bit closer look, so you would see actually what it did, that level. I mean, we had it around here. Could try to put any trades, but Monday I wouldn't go for it. So, you know, if you would have wanted to do something about it, you could have used just that channel, which created, which is quite wide, and created from, you see, from Friday to Monday, and even a little bit of Tuesday. That would have been your point of breaking it. Try to sell it because it's going down, but it's quite wide. It's like about like 40 pips. So if you trade like a bigger charts, like 1 hour, then you could have tried to do some trades, and of course thinking, okay, if that's the 50, if it will go down, we'll have about 120 pips, and we'll have about the same up, because if that would be from that area, so it's about the same, 630 pips. So you could have used that created channel, but I wouldn't use this one anymore because it was no use. And that's it. As you can see, it's broke, and now we only have this little movement, and of course in here you can also draw something like this and try to see if it will break. But as I'm saying, for me it's risky. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to trade it. I can draw it right now just to see what's going to happen, if it will actually go down, would it actually would try to break it more and continue the downtrend. So let's see, for example, where it is now again from that. So you have here, it might try to recover, or it will drop. So it's all will be depends now what they're going to say. You see, it's only like 40 pips, something to that level. So I'll just wait for that to break. For example, if that will break, we will have to bottom and see. It could be about 70, or we can try to go for a very low one, but something like this. So again, if it will do something like that, for example, see if I can probably leave it like this, but as I'm saying, it's still uncertainty, and go on a smaller one. That's what we have. There is nothing really, nothing for me. I would not go for it. I mean, except you can see again, it looks like it went down and it's creating something like a little flag again. You can see. So it's just like here, it dropped. It's a little bit of recovery, and then it's drop again. Maybe a little bit of recovery. Maybe it will go a little bit higher, and it's possible it will drop again. So as you can see, drop again down, or it might go up a bit. It all depends what they're going to announce again. So I need to be careful with this. So, and look here. So, for example, if you can see, maybe if it does something like this, so we need to remember that that will be opening Monday. So I'll probably just say wait for again to try to risk and try to trade pound, and just wait for opening on Monday and see what's gonna happen. And here, if like around here, might like have a channel again, and so how far is it? It's about 100 pips, so it could be could be a possibility of try to do. So it depends again, as I'm saying, Monday how it will open will be maybe gaps, or maybe it wouldn't. So I would just probably leave it like this for now. You can leave it and just see what's gonna happen. So, and even if for example, if it will break around, well, whatever, around here, we have the lowest at this point would be this area, just you see 127, which is also about 100 pips, so it's quite far. 100 here, about 150 pips, and about 100, so it could be possible to do some trades. We have a little bit of something, and so this is our lowest. Can leave that, so we would know that's the lowest at that point. And to see if pound would create something around here, and of course if it will be quite a nice channel, so it's possible to do some trades maybe, and to see if it will break up and go up there and will be stopped again by the main channel or level, or it might go down. And this is, at least we have a little bit of something. We have the lowest. We might go down here, so it's possible, but I think it's a bit risky, but that's what it is. So this is what it looks like pound for me for now. That's how I would do it. So, and the other point, if it is actually a flag, then you can also expect, for example, when it will be around here, you can see what's the distance, because you know usually with the patterns it's the distance. So if it's to that point of flag, it's about 300 pips. Like this is about 400 pips. So it can possibly, if it's a continued trend, if it is a pattern, so it might be, you see, going down there like 126 price. We're going 4 hour, that's why it's better to see on a 4 hour chart. Now a bit better on the daily one. A bit more visibility. So you see a continuing trend. So if it will not be stopped, for example, this wouldn't be a good stopping point, then you see if it may be like 300 or something, you would think it could go to 124 around that area. So that could be a possibility. So but as I'm saying, very uncertain right now and unpredictable. But this is what I would think of. So just remember about this, and possibility if it could not stop, where it could go down with about the same distance you might expect. Okay, so this is the pound. Australian now, and with Australian dollar. So we have, remember, it's created here. I said it could possibly creating of head and shoulders, which is not very nice looking one, but it did look like it the first, and but at this moment you can see it's not, so it did actually break. So now the thing is, could be that it's creating the third top. You have one top, we have second top, and possibility of creating the third top. If it will not going to be stopped by that level, which you can see has one top and the second top, and this one might be possibly stopped by, or if it will break, this is the other one. You can see that there could be the other one. So let's just have a little bit closer look on that. And so what do we have here? So you can see the previous week when I draw that level, I moved it, as I'll show in here to remember it, because when I drew it, it was a little bit like this before the market opened. As I was saying to you, that it was quite a good indication of a good level of which could be broken, and there could be some trades. And we had that level just in case, thinking if actually the market does create is created like one of the shoulders, and possibly it might create another shoulder. So that would have been a one of the points if the market breaks and going down, and hopefully to one of these levels. So what happened, you can see the market opens with the gap. That's why you would have adjust that level, because of this happened, that gap, and market returned, went up. So you would probably adjust that level a little bit low. You could have done it using this point, and that's how you would do it, adjust it a bit. So, or you could have leave it as it is and just bear in mind of this. So it just needed a little bit of adjustments, something. So a bit like here, or could have go a little bit lower, but probably would be around like this. So something like that. And you can see on Monday it did actually break and went up a bit, and then on Tuesday you can see it dropped. So it did break the both little levels where actually was a possibility to make some profit on it. I didn't trade the Australian dollar, the dollar too, but this could be your point where you could have some trades, because it did have a bit of the slowdown around this area, and it broke to levels and it went down. But you can see, unfortunately, it didn't go all the way. It turned around, and it broke again the other level, and it's continued going up. So it did something like that, you can see. So that's what I'm saying. That's why I like to place the trades, to take the first 10 pips and then continue the change in the stop, or place a trailing stop. So it all depends. If you would have done something like this, you could have made profit on that one. Not waiting it for. That's why I'm saying why it's so important to actually better to watch it, and why not always market can go exactly and go to the level. It might turn around. That's why I like to use a trailing stops, and why I like to watch and move the stops, just in case of that. Because if you would have gone in straight and you didn't you wanted to risk and try to catch the whole move, you see, would have turned around, and you could have made loss or come out with nothing. So it depends. It all depends how you trade. So at this moment I'm taking this away. We don't need that, nothing of this. And so we can have a look again at a little bit bigger chart. So you can see it's moving in uptrend channel, except it didn't go right to the bottom of this level, as I'm saying. So now this movement might be stopped by that level, or if it will break it, it could be stopped by our uptrend channel level. And then of course, as I'm saying, just wait for any creation patterns, or another little channel or anything, and see if it will, again, to draw any levels, lines, and see if it will turn around, or will it continue going up. So is it going to continue going up? This would have been another target. Let's just check it out again. So I used some of these levels. See that level, and we have that and that touch up. So yes, that's the another important level. So, but it might be still could be still stopped by this. But we also have this. Let's see if that could be. You see that the possibility which also could be stopped by something like that. So you might need to draw maybe a little bit higher of this level. Depends if you will go in a trade. If I would go in a trade, that's how I would look first, because we still have one top and there's another top, and it could be actually a down, still going down trend in this. Instead of it's in downtrend in a bigger one, in a bigger frame. So you would think possibly it will go up and will break and get to that level before it turn around, but you see it actually can be stopped and create another top, the third one lower than the previous two, so it could, and then it could turn around again. So that's what can happen. Either I created this little one using these two tops, that one and that one, but we also have that top. That's what you need to remember if you will be going into any trades. So just remember this. I think I'm going to leave them that it would be visible. But just again, because, and remember, you might will have to move it a little bit just to see where the market go, where it stops. Any news events happening around those levels, you need to bear it all in mind. I think I leave it right to the top, and I leave this so there wouldn't be too many crossing together. But as I'm saying, the more it will be going higher, that's where you need to just remember to move them a little bit if you would think if it will be creating something around there. I think I'm going to leave all other levels just in case and see if any partners there will be, and if there will be maybe any possibilities for any trades to take. But as you can see, it was absolutely nothing. I didn't go for any trades. I mean, except that area where it could be a good trade, but I didn't want to risk it again. I mean, it was not as that, for example, when it was breaking, it wasn't strong enough for me as a channel. It did slow down, but not, I wouldn't risk on that one, so I didn't go. So dollar yen now, and so this is where I had trades in dollar yen. Was a very good one, you can see. So okay, we have the main picture. I'm going to show you again. So you remember the main picture, it's in downtrend, dollar to yen, so going down, and it was and just see where it I created this level based on the previous. You can see previous results, we had it around here. Let's go in the monthly one just to see what else. So I took that one is because we had here, and we had some touching bottoms around that level, around that price. But as you remember, you can always move a little bit because we have also here, and that's why it might be it's stopped around here. But I'm going to leave it anyway right here because it's a little bit more touching bottoms around that price. So I would just leave this a little bit, and also you see the top of the one, I will still leave it as it is. But remember, you can do it a little bit plus and minus if you are in a trade. So you're asking sometimes why you're doing this. As I'm saying, you're not only waiting for like creating, like for example something like this, isn't it, like slowing down and creating, and then you're thinking to put trades. But also if you're in a trade, that could be a stopping point when to come out from the trade, possibly. And or depends if it will break it, maybe top up, and could be anything. So we need these levels to see where market is moving and possibly would stop. So as you can see, just go and see like the previous week. We had that's what we had the previous week, and that's what happened this week. And that's what I was saying to you. It was stopped between these two levels, so just waiting for movements. And here it's created on Monday a very nice channel. And you know I love channels, and it was a very good one. And that was a little channel, which the bottom of that channel was right from Friday, right here. So you had like plus minus a little bit, and that little one was next day, but could take all of this like this. That was not very, let's say, not very straight, but that was a quite good point. And the market moved, dropped, as you can see. As I'm saying, it only had like about 10 pips. So that was that was a very nice little one. And you know, the dollar yen is the movements in Asian session, and that's what happened. And it's continuing down. It actually didn't stop here. It actually broke it, come down, and then come back to that level. And it's actually trading afterwards underneath that level, and on a non-farm it tried to come back. So I did just one little trade on yen. Didn't want to do any other ones. I mean, it could have, because look at this little you can like a little also like a little triangle, little flag, and which created around this level. So you could have taken, I mean, if you look on the 15-minute chart, you could have tried and take that for trading. You can see that little pattern, but I didn't want to risk it because it was non-farm, close to non-farm, and I just thought I wouldn't go for this one, but you could do on that one. And also I didn't do on euro, on dollar, yen, or non-farm because it was you can see it moving up and down, so it didn't have a calming, it didn't have a channel or anything, so that's why non-farm I didn't want to go for it either. So it wasn't very good, but as you can see, that's a very beautiful, nice channel, and which, as I'm saying to you, the longer it is, the better. I mean, it started right from Friday and had a little bit up on Monday, but then it's come back in our price range. So when it started here, you can see, and then this is where it's broke. It went nicely down. So that's what I'm saying. You look for very nice patterns, channels, and that's how you do it. Okay, so let's see what can do on next week. So next week, let me take this. Don't need that now. It's, well, right now you can see it's going down. So it's, I mean, it's still slowed down around the price range, and it's going down now, and it might possibly continue going down. And also it might go back a little bit here and try to back in channel, but we also can adjust a bit and see, but I'm not going to do it, I think. But it's well, we don't need really like the top level. I probably wouldn't adjust just to see, maybe it will be trying to create something around here and try to come back into that channel. Maybe it will come back a bit, maybe it will drop again and then try to break it again or move around here. But as I'm saying, at this moment it's quite hard to say where it is right now. It come out from the channel and it's broke out this, so it's possible it will go down, or possible it will try to recover a little bit. So which is yeah, I think it's just leave it as it is at that point. Going to weekly again. So just leave it as it is for now, because we still have that downtrend channel, and just to see if what is going to do. Will it try to go back? Actually, would it go in? It might, because you see what happened in here. Maybe it will do and try to create something. Maybe it will try to create something and slow down a little bit around this price range. Maybe a little bit higher, maybe a little bit lower, but I would just look for and see what is going to happen in here before actually to do any trades again. But as I was saying, again, maybe it will create something nice again, maybe a really nice channel. Just need to see. At this moment, you can see there is nothing around here. The news event, non-farm again, up and down, come back, didn't pick any direction after that. So kind of stopped right here. I mean, as I'm saying, you can always look and to see, of course, maybe we can try to draw a level around here and see, but we need to see what is going to be opening the Monday, opening on Sunday. For some of you would be Sunday, for some of you would be Monday, and see what's going to happen when the market opens. What is it going to do? Will it jump down? Will it jump up? And based on Monday, could see and to do some of the levels, some other levels, because at this point it's nothing really to draw. You see, because we still have that wing, which not really, I don't really like to use them that much, because it could be just an impulse, you know, just impulse, and that's it. And like the main, I would say, yeah, okay, the main could be here, taking the bodies of the candles, which is also maybe right here, like this a little bit, but it's all around this price range. I mean, well, it's about 80 pips from it, but you can see even on the non-farm, it did actually try to come back and touch it again. So maybe it's, as I'm saying, maybe it will sit a little bit around here, maybe it'll come back and sit a little bit there, try to go in. If not, when it might drop, and then we can see and adjust a channel, just to see how it's going to what it's going to do next week, just to see what it's going to do. And because see, at this moment we still have that downtrend channel, and just to see what previously was, what is going to do in here. Okay, that's where I'm with dollar yen. Okay, dollar Canadian. And with dollar Canadian, we also had this was our previous week. You remember that also that level I drew, and market did actually on Monday it continued going down. So this was the level, then it's continued going down, and it tried to break. Also, it broke that level, and it's mostly get to the top level of the channel. You can see in on a bigger time frame. Remember, I used the bottom, and I used kind of like this top and a little bit of this top, and this one and that one, and that's why we have that little downtrendy channel. And we also have the blue levels, which is indicating of the uptrend channel. But you can see it's like balancing around here. And so for the next week, probably just going to remove this. We don't need that anymore. You can see it's at this point, it's kind of sits that channel now, so it's kind of like creating something like maybe triangle or something, but which is means safe. Okay, if it will break that level, we have that first, and possibly that could be target, because this is our uptrend channel, and then as usual just need to look for some patterns. So just go in the weekly one to see a little bit better picture. Yeah, you can see it's kind of like sits in here a little bit, so maybe possibly it will go around this area a little bit further, and we'll be trying, of course, to break either that level or break in that level, and all depends on the break. We already have all these important other levels, which could be again support or resistance, so which could be turned in each other. It could be becoming a support level, can turn into a resistance level, but we all have it right now in the picture, and you can see it does actually move according to the level. So it's like the first it's broke, it went up a little bit halfway, didn't go right to that, it's actually come back down to that price, it stopped that level, stopped it, it didn't drop more, it's actually tried to come back up, and again just slightly it didn't touch it, so possibly maybe it will go down again, or maybe it will be actually this time this week trying to break it and go to next one of the levels. So that's going just fine, waiting for again for any patterns or channels. So that's what dollar Canadian. And another trade I did on euro pound again, because it was very nice and beautiful again, as you can see, that channel, which also, you remember my channel system, that's exactly what it is. And as you can see, it's very good one, because I could have a previous top and it went down. I mean, I had a little bit of the drops at some points, but mostly it's quite nice, and it's 30 minutes. If you look on the 15 minutes, you will have a bit better view of how nice the channel was. As you can see, that's one. So that's perfect. So it was a very good opportunity to actually go for trade. So the first, remember I drew that level when I was saying to you it's kind of yes or no on Monday when it's opened, and moved that slowly. We don't need that level anymore, because you see it's created the channel and created exactly at the level of another channel. As I'm saying, this is for me is a quite strong indication, creating any patterns, channels around the levels of the channels, of trend channels, main ones. So when it creates something like that, that's what you're looking for. That's what I look for. That's like perfect. So as you can see, because it created this, when we first draw that, expecting, okay, maybe on Monday it will go something like that, or it did this, so you could have either move it like this, or just, we don't need it anymore, remove that, and then using that main one, and then you just would have draw another one, that little one, for that one. Okay, need to go on the small. That's why I like to use the smaller charts. So that's the way you have a bit better picture. That's the one. You could have used that's the one. So our main one would be this little one. Remember that little one is our main. We had already created the top level for it, and we could have put the bottom one to see, okay, as I'm saying, we never know where it can go. It could have go up or it could have actually drop, and on the dropping point, and as you know, okay, it could have dropped, and we have these are the lowest. This is where I put 20 pips down plus 10 pips, because you can see it's 30, like about 35 pips. So you know, I can take my 10 pips as usual, secure some profit, and then let it go down if it would have gone down. And thinking maybe it will go down here, or maybe it will stop somewhere a little bit early. And the same with where it went up. And for a upgoing trend, we had so what do we have is that next level, which is coming from previous. We had a top here, and this a possibility that it might go to that level. We'll try to break it, or it might be a stopping point. So at that moment, this is what it looks like. So that's all with euro pound, really. So we do know it's an uptrend. It's broke an uptrend channel level, and this would be a target, but of course it's slowed down a bit, and it might change direction. Right now it's just sits above that level and between the top level. You can see it's probably again about the same distance, maybe a little bit different. So you have about 240 up and about 120 down. So it might go down, it might be stopped by that level, or broke it and try to go down to this one, or maybe it will continue going up. So again, depends how the Monday would open. Of course, can try to maybe to see and draw something and see how it will go, and can try, maybe it creates again a maybe like a little triangle or something. So if we go on the 4-hour chart, you can see it could be a little pattern of for example the uptrend. Yep, it's like uptrend, it was going up, and now it's uncertainty and consolidation, and it might continue going to up to that level, or as you know, it could be opposite direction. So it depends how it opens. Maybe it will be a gap again, maybe it will continue sit inside. Then I would probably look for that formation and see what's going to happen on Mondays. I'm saying it's possible to try to get some profit. It's like about, I'm saying, 100 pips down or about 200 pips up. Of course, you know, when the market opens, all you have to do is to see and adjust the levels. It could be something like this. So it depends. Maybe it will not create the path. Maybe it will go and slow down and would create a would create a channel. So that's what we need to see what's going to happen Monday, and depends what's going to happen on Monday to see what might happen on Tuesday, or to see what's going to happen on Tuesday, and for the Wednesdays depends. It might will continue. I might probably just leave it as it is, and to that. But as I'm saying, it's like 30 minutes one. You know, on the 15 minutes, it's going to be quite big, quite big distances in here. What do we have here? Like 100 pips, about 100 pips, and it's, you can see it's slowing down. And so it might be possibly triangle. As you remember, for triangle we need at least I like the 3 bottoms, 3 tops. So at least 3 tops. So looking for the 3rd bottom to break, or 3 bottoms and the 3rd top break, or it will create on both sides 3 and 3, and try to break on the 4th. So we do already have 1 bottom, we have 2nd bottom, and right now, as you see, it's in the middle, so it might create the 3rd, and then we'll turn around, because here that's the the only thing is here, as you can see, because that's a spike and I don't really like wing, and I don't really like to use them for the patterns, and I like to more look for a bodies of the candles. But can try to see it might be a creation of a triangle. So as you can see, you have, for example, we have one bottom, one top that's didn't reach, so we have still another top, so we have one bottom, and well, would say maybe it's the one top, and depends on how that will go, we can adjust, maybe it's a second top already, and creation of third bottom, maybe that's the third bottom. That's what I'm saying, it's quite hard at this moment to say, but it's very possible that it could be a pattern, so could be adjusted. I think I'll just leave it like this for now. Just leave it for now like this, yeah. And we'll see what's going to be on Monday again. So that's all for now. And another thing, let's just check it out again. From that movement, we had about 90 pips movement. If it's just that little one, or if I'll go on the 4-hour chart, we had that one going up, a little bit correction, went up, so it possibly to take from that bottom, so that we have about 260, and thinking that that could be possibly about right. So as I'm saying, we'll see possibly what's going to happen in here. Maybe it is a pattern, and that possibly will be a continuing movement, up movement. But it's euro pound, and as I'm saying, this is uncertainty with euro and pound exactly at this moment. So that's how I leave it for now, and then as I'm saying, we will see what's going to happen if I go for trades or not. Again, I'm telling you that July and August are usually, I don't really like to trade those months, because it's more uncertainty, and many people also are on holidays, and pairs could be quite unpredictable. So we're going to see now after Brexit, it also is very much of uncertainty what's going to happen. So let's see what's going to happen next week. So at this moment, this is it. That's what it looks like. So that's all for now, guys, and don't forget to subscribe, and I see you next week. Bye, everyone.